Yo, what is up, everyone? It is the Beast, and welcome back to the channel, The Beast On. If you see this face, if you hear this voice, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean so much to me. And if you saw this on Twitter or Facebook or the IG or TikTok or some social platform, LinkedIn, please share it, will you? I mean, don't just like it. It's nice to give a little heart or a like, but share it. Let your friends know. The Beast has got stuff, got content. All right, so this is another edition of my unemployment diaries. And before I get to the big news about myself and my future, I wanted to bring up a couple of things. So last week was a horrible week in the world of radio as it relates to my former employer, Entercom. They let go basically almost everybody that had to do with the country and alternative formats. They're basically making national morning show, national show here, national show there. So it's basically like Sirius XM satellite radio, except you'll have like one local show. Luckily, Ashley O is still on, although she's in the afternoons. But really, they're wiping the local identity away from all alternative and country stations. At Kiss Country, they kept TC in the morning. They moved Dina B from the afternoon up to the morning, and they got rid of Darlene and June Knight. And unfortunately, this is expected to happen to basically every other music format that Entercom owns. So I feel bad because I know that my former colleagues at Power and Light and The Beach are going to be impacted by this. So far, I don't know what they're going to do with sports yet, but something tells me something major will be on the way, because owning 2 AM dials, 2 AM frequencies in this day and age is like owning tablets with like news, hammered into it. It's just not the thing that's happening. So we'll see what happens. I expect more cuts. The rumors are, that all midday shows will be gone. That there's all sorts of rumors out there. But and I just feel horrible because I see a lot of my friends, my former colleagues, now going through what I've been going through since November, which is just a major life change, and it impacts you so much. Emotionally, mentally, physically, psychologically, and in this time, as important, financially. It's really hard, and those of you that have been there, it's really hard not to know where your next paycheck's going to come from, if you're going to be able to pay the bills that month, if you're going to be able to help feed the family, all of that stuff. So my heart just breaks for everybody. But do me a solid, will you please? And that is, a couple of my former colleagues are out there on the social media, and I'd like you to look them up. Look up my good friend Dina Lang. She actually lives down the street from me, although we never see each other around the neighborhood. I think she hides from me, pretty much. I mean, everyone would, right? But go find my good friend Dina Lang. I think you could follow her on the social. It's Dina Lang. She's come up with an amazing concept to benefit national mental health awareness. And it's basically a clothing and accessories line with some amazing cool stuff. So go check that out. I just bought myself a mug, and I can't wait to get into the gear. I'm so proud of her. I'm so happy for her. And I hope this is something that she can turn into a business. She's definitely meant for much more than middays on a radio station. She's so funny. She's so vibrant and amazing and real and unfiltered. I just have the utmost respect for her. The other one is my good friend, Will Altoff, who has done literally everything in the entertainment industry, from acting to news reporting to programming an alternative station to being a DJ to literally everything. He's so talented. Go find Will Altoff. Go support him in his endeavors. help him find a gig. He's one of the most talented people I've met. He can literally do anything. When I was helping to run the sports stations, he volunteered to come and board op some shifts for me. He's reported for us. I mean, he's done everything in this industry, on camera, on radio, behind the scenes, acting. He's been in so many shows. He's just one of the most talented dudes I know. And he has an amazing wife in Libby and 2 amazing kids. So I hope you go support Will Altoff. All right, now to me. Here's the surprising twist in my quest to find out what's next for me. So I know in the long run, here's a couple things I know. One, eventually, at some point in time in my life, I'd like to be able to, whatever it is I do for income, I'd like for that to be under the guise of me being my boss, me being my own boss, or at least one of the bosses. I'm in charge of something. I know I may not be able to do that right now. I may have to, pivot again and go do something else. But eventually, that's what I want to get to. I think what is a really great idea for a broadcast entity using new technology and some interesting ways of making that work financially. And that's what I want to get to. I don't know if that's now or 3 years from now. I don't know when that is, but that's what I'm working towards. And as I put my head together with some people and talk to some people about what that would take, it was clear to me that, obviously the first thing you want to do when you have an idea like that is to put together a business plan. And then it's like, well, I've never really put together a business plan. So I'm just like, I wonder if there's a way to, some course I can take on putting together business plans. So one night, because we all have insomnia these days, and I find myself up at 4 a.m. because who sleeps nowadays? And I'm just Googling. I'm just down the Google wormhole. Anything that, business plans, courses, blah, blah, blah. And I just happened to come across, I don't know what words I typed in, but I happened to come across a graduate program, an MBA program in media management. And I was like, okay, up until now, I've never really considered going on for a graduate degree. When I graduated from with really subpar grades, by the way, thanks, Mom and Dad, you supported average. But I had fun. No, if it weren't for I wouldn't have been in this industry. I wouldn't have had a 25-year career. I may have wasted some class hours, but what I learned there certainly helped me throughout my career. So I'm glad I went and got my bachelor's degree at the University of Miami, and I can truly say that I'm a Cane. But when I was done with I was fully already hired in radio. There was no need for me to go get another degree, right? Like I didn't feel like I needed another degree to pursue my dreams of being in radio. A lot of people in radio don't even have a bachelor's degree. So why would I need a secondary degree? I did know some, obviously some kids I knew did go get their master's, or they went on to get a law degree or what have you. I was ready to jump into radio, ready to go. But here I am, a 44-year-old adult, at least physically, mentally, who knows where I am. My wife says I'm about somewhere between 3 and 5. And I need to pivot yet again to figure out what I'm going to do to make money and support my family. And it's become quite clear that I don't have all the skills necessary to accomplish my dream. And I really don't want to jump into something and it be a failure. I can't afford that. I can't afford that like psychologically, emotionally, and I can't afford that financially. So I made a decision one night at 4 a.m. that, let me at least look into this MBA program in media management, right? Because I want to be in media management. I already have been in media management. And looking at the course description at this particular school, there's a lot of courses there that I could really benefit from. And I was like, okay, let me see what's going on. So I looked further. Hey, this is all online. It's all virtual. It is a local school, but it's all virtual. It's not a scam program. It's not one of these like Trump universities. The reason why I mentioned that, it's not to offend anyone that likes Trump. It's because I happen to just be reading Michael Cohen's book, and I'm literally on the chapter when he's talking about settling lawsuits about Trump University. It's not a fake school where you just get a paper diploma. It's an actually real school that exists. But this is really a program meant for professionals, so it's all online. And that school is Lynn University. So I applied to the Lynn University Masters of Business Administration in Media Management program, and I was really scared in applying because, one, I hadn't applied for anything educationally since 1993, and I know that my transcripts from the University of Miami were not very good. Now, I lucked out. For this particular program, there was no need for me to take a GRE or any kind of entry exam. Bonus, right? Now, if I had to, I would have studied my ass off, gotten the book, watched every YouTube. I would have been ready for a test. I'm not a bad test taker. I did pretty well on my SATs. I guess that's how I got into UM in the first place. So that wouldn't have deterred me, but I'm glad I don't have to go through that process. But I was worried about getting into a graduate program considering my past academic history. So I went through the application process, and I had to have my transcript sent over from the University of Miami. I had totally forgotten, by the way, that while I was at UM, I had taken other classes at other universities. I did a summer semester at American University in Washington. I did a summer semester at Boston University, and as much as I really don't want to admit it, I did a summer semester at Salem State University, which is a local community college up on the North Shore of Boston where I grew up. And I'll just tell you that when I did that summer semester, I felt like Albert Einstein compared to the students that were there at the time. This is in the mid-'90s. I'm surely Salem State has gotten to be a better academic institution since then, but I got like 100 on those classes. So I did have some other really good grades from some other great universities like American and BU and Salem State. But my transcripts were sent in. I did everything I had to do, but I was really worried because I knew what the GPA was that they were looking for with this graduate program, and I certainly didn't have it. But as it was explained to me, when you're applying to these sorts of programs that are meant for professionals, they take into account your years of experience and what you've done in your career. And when I did the on-the-phone interview, the admissions rep seemed to be incredibly impressed by my experience. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I've been in radio for 25 years. I've been in broadcast management, which is what this media management, which is what this degree is about. But I have a wealth of experience. I've been through everything. I was telling her everything I've done. And she was impressed and said, that's very impressive. The next step was for me to write a personal statement. In the old days, they would call that the entrance essay, right? Here's a digression and a little known fact, but a funny one. In order to get into the University of Miami, and at least up until the time that I graduated, it was still like hung in someone's office. I don't think so anymore. But the essay I wrote to get into the University of Miami was, and I was told by the admissions committee that this got me in basically because my high school grades weren't that great either. As you can tell, like back in the day, I was not really focused on my academics. The essay I wrote was like, if you could choose anyone in history, who would you want to be? And I picked Big Bird. I wrote a marvelous essay about why I wanted to be Big Bird. I don't remember exactly my reasoning, but it was an amazing essay. I mean, when it comes to creative writing and being creative, I can do that. The only thing I'm not good is anything visually creative. I'm so bad at anything visual. doing arts and crafts and painting and drawing and decorating and anything visual I suck at. But when it comes to writing or audio or anything, I can kick ass at that. So that essay got me into So I had to write a personal statement to get myself in to this Lynn University MBA program. And I went at it and attacked it like I do every other project that I have where I'm writing, which is my comfort zone. And I felt like I really wrote a really awesome essay about why I deserved to be admitted to the Lynn University MBA in Media Management program. But still, I was worried about my grades. And I talked to the admissions rep. If you're watching this, it's a Tuesday. So I'm just letting you know what day it is. If you're watching this, it's a Tuesday. Today. If you're watching this today, it's a Tuesday. If you're not watching this today, it doesn't really matter. But so on the Friday, I talked to my admissions rep, the person who interviewed me, who was handling my case, and just to let her know that everything was sent in. Also, I had gotten the head of the broadcast program, Dr. Paul Driscoll, who I've been friends with and known since I had to take his class 17 times at the University of Miami. I had him write my personal recommendation letter. And I thought he wrote a truthful letter, basically saying, listen, while Brian was at the U, he did not do great, wonderful academically, but he was amazing in learning the skills that he needed to be into radio. And he was a mensch of a person. And when there was a project we needed to get done, he was gung-ho and all this stuff, basically saying, listen, he lapsed a little bit in his academics, but really great kid, great person. You'd be lucky to have him at Lynn University. So all this stuff was in. Talked to my admissions rep last Friday, and she was like, okay, we're good to go. It should take about a week or two to let you know whether you made it in or not, applying for the upcoming January, the winter semester. And since then, I've been kind of really nervous because I didn't know what I would do if I didn't get in, whether I would try to apply for other programs or what I would do. And got a email yesterday that I've been accepted. So I have been accepted to go get my MBA in Media Management at Lynn University. And I couldn't be more ecstatic. I'm not at this point, I was like, man, I want to go, if I'm going to get a graduate degree, it should be Harvard or the U or, Cal Berkeley or somewhere with a name, Stanford. That doesn't matter. I mean, as I found out in my career, it really does not matter. I knew that this program at Lynn University, which is a small liberal arts university in Boca Raton, I knew that this program was geared towards me because of the course offerings, exactly what the curriculum was, is exactly what I needed, and it would be all online, all virtual, despite the campus being, 45 minutes away from me. It would all be online because it's geared towards professionals, people like me, middle-aged people who need to go back to school because, life happens. So I got in, and I'm freaking stoked. Now, there is the little minor issue of I'm unemployed, and how am I going to pay for college to go back and get my master's degree? Applied for federal aid, don't know what else is out there, gonna have to research it. That's obviously, before I start classes on day one, I need to be able to pay for it, right? And also need to find a gig that can work around the class schedule as well, so I can bring some income in and have some health insurance and help feed the family. But for somebody that was not academically inclined as far as pure grades go, for somebody that never had a desire to get a postgraduate degree, for somebody who certainly wasted a lot of time and money in classes, it is pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty amazing to me that I've taken this step. That I went for this option, because if you'd asked me 2 months ago, I would have told you you're bleeping crazy. I'm gonna MBA. Come on, who does that? Who's a radio person that goes and gets their MBA? Not many. But in knowing what I eventually want to do, to be my own boss, to start a company, knowing the skills that I would need, knowing that I didn't have them, I was like, listen, I need this. This is something I have to do. In other words, I adulted basically for the first time in my life. And just said, I need these skills right now, and this is the best way for me to get them. I can finish this up in as little as a year. I can work on my project in the meantime. I can go find another job. Maybe it's something I love. Maybe I find a job in another industry that I absolutely love, and I stick with that for the rest of my life. Well, you know what? And I'm getting my MBA in the meantime. Can that hurt? Never. It never hurts to continue your education. So also with an MBA, eventually, I hope to, I don't know if they'll let me, but at some point I would love to be able to teach a class, if not at the University of Miami, then somewhere, to give back my knowledge of the broadcast industry. And with a master's, you can do that. So that's my next step. I'm still, I still got to figure out the money situation. Times are tough right now when it comes to money in my life. Being unemployed for the third time since November has not been an easy thing on my psyche. I really can't sleep, at least at night. During the day, I mean, I could sleep in all day. Pure signs of depression, to be honest with you. But now I feel a little bit of purpose now. I feel a little bit of, I found a goal. I feel a little bit of, all right, here's something to accomplish. Here's something to achieve. And I feel kind of, for the first time in a long time, I feel good about myself. Not like overly good, because I haven't done anything yet, and I'm still in this bind of everything that's happened the last bunch of months. But there's like a shining star out there, and I feel like I'm heading towards it. So that's at least something, right? That's something. So that's what I've got. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Got to make the money work first. We got to see how we're going to pay for school. But if you want to contribute to the Beast Goes Back and Gets His Master's Fund, I do have a Patreon page if you want to look me up on there. Or, just send me a check, or Venmo or PayPal or what have you. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks. Thanks for watching again. Subscribe, because I want to see you. And watch every video, and hit the little bell when you want to be notified of new videos. And, of course, share and tell all your friends so I can get my subs up, because that's what the kids say. And go follow my kid on TikTok, because he's blowing up and going viral at Zach, Z-A-C-H, randomizing things. Zach randomizing things. This kid is taking over TikTok. It's only a matter of time before he's supporting the entire family by making TikTok videos. There you go. All right. Glad I can provide the update. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.